Anyone in my family can tell you that I can make a sandwich out of anything, and that I'm an expert sandwich maker. Even on spaghetti night, much to a carb counter's chagrin, I'll take and put spaghetti between two pieces of garlic bread, and voila, a spaghetti sandwich. And my kids will say that nobody can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich quite like Dad's. And I mention this only because Mark, the gospel writer, and I share this trait in common. He is a master at what scholars call the Markan sandwich. That is to say, that in order to really drive a point home, what he'll do is take two accounts of Jesus with a common theme, start the one story, interrupt it with another story, and then complete the sandwich by coming back around to the story that we started with. It's a fascinating way to give an account, get it to stick, and to drive a point home. But what is the point, the peanut butter and jelly of our sandwich, if you will, that is being driven home to us in today's gospel, as we are confronted by the accounts of Jairus and his daughter, and the woman who touches Jesus' robe? The key is when Jesus reminds those around him to not be afraid. If we have faith in him, faith in the face of fear, faith that he is always near, then there is always hope. That's what is offered to us today and every day that we hear or read the gospel. Hope. Hope where before there was none. First, looking at the account of Jairus and his family, it is obvious as to why they were all afraid. It looks like his daughter is about to die, and later in the story has died. Second, with the woman who had been bleeding uncontrollably for 12 years, the gospel talks about her approaching Jesus in fear and trembling, because in Jesus' time and place, she would have been considered unclean and would have been an outcast. She not only broke the law regarding such things, but she then made Jesus unclean too. And for us today, all we have to do is tune into the news to discover all the things that there are to be afraid of, to see all the places, people, and events in the world in need of healing and hope. And if you're anything like myself, you don't even have to look much further than the mirror sometimes to find a situation in need of healing. And what Jesus is offering us today is an opportunity to be free of fear, to be free of brokenness. By having faith in him and his way, we will always have hope. Things might not always be pretty. We might be really afraid sometimes, but he is there and willing to let us touch his cloak when we need to. He is there to look us in the eye, having walked with us the whole way, and to lovingly say, "Go now, your faith has healed you." Even in the face of death, we hear in today's gospel that there is hope. Jesus demonstrates his power, God's power, over death. We are given hope by way of a sneak peek in terms of what God can do. We know, believe, and gather around table because of Jesus' resurrection. But the other hope we find foreshadowed here is the belief that we mention at the end of the creed every week, that God loves us so much that what is in store for us is to be healed of sin and to be resurrected too. If we have faith in him, despite our fears, there is hope that on the last day, we will hear Jesus say to us, like he did Jairus' daughter, "I say to you, arise."